Good evening, everyone. Wekiva High School welcomes you to Mustang Arena for Game 2 of the 2021 Girls Basketball Preseason Classic. Please welcome our guests wearing the blue jerseys, visitors on the scoreboard from City of Life Christian Academy. The Warriors, and they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Let's meet the teams, beginning with our guests from City of Life and starting at guard with 5'3", number 1, Natalia Perez. And she is a sophomore. Also starting is 5'5", sophomore shooting guard number 3, Karina Rivera. At guard, 5'6", senior number 5, Gio Rodriguez. At power forward, 5'7", senior number 21, Samantha Theus. And finally, for the Warriors, at small forward, 5'7", sophomore number 31, Talia St. Hilaire. And the Warriors are coached by Dury Bugs and Gina Bugs. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Starting at guard with 5'6", sophomore, number 10, Jada Eads. At forward, 6' senior, number 15, Rylan Muffett. At guard, 5'9", senior, number 22, Shania McCarthy. At guard, 5'7", junior, number 0, Jade Lewis. And finally for the Mustangs at forward, 5'11", senior, number 32, Kanari Holiday. The head coach of the Mustangs, Mr. Tommy Butts, with assistant coaches Latoya Russ, Keisha Brown-Griffin, George Spearman, and Robert Moultrie. The officials for tonight's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. For those of you here in the arena, we want to let you know we are live streaming tonight's game on YouTube and the NFHS Network. If you have friends or family back elsewhere in Apopka, in Orlando, or anywhere in the world and they'd like to tune in, just search for Wekiva Sports on the YouTube app on your favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device. We also simulcast it on the NFHS Network if you should happen to be a member there. And for those of you who are joining us online on the NFHS Network or on YouTube, we want to welcome you to Mustang Arena. My name is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School. I am joined, as always, by Neil Fisher of the Apopka Chief, and we are ready to get started with not quite the regular season of our 15th anniversary year.
And welcome once again to Mustang Arena as we are getting ready, just seconds away from tipping off the 2021-22 season. The refs check. Holiday and Theus tipping off. A turnover, 2 turnovers in the first minute. That's Moffitt. The spin, can't make the withdrawal. Out of bounds, City of Life possession. The Warriors, they come in. This is a battle between two teams that are traditionally known as state championship contenders. Of course, City of Life. In the smaller classifications, they are a Class 2A member. They won the 2018 state championship. As Holiday does not pull down their first rebound of the season. City of Life comes in off a 14-7 record. They were the regular season District 2 A11 champions. They wound up as the runner-up in that tournament. Some give and go, loose ball, no basket. Holiday pulls down her first rebound, and Wekiva is off The City of Life, the Warriors, went into the state playoffs as the first trade taken by Eads goes out of bounds. 3 shots, no baskets. So the City of Life Warriors, they made it to the regional final of the state playoffs last year. They are down 3 players on the roster. Wekiva, of course, comes in looking not only to get to their 4th consecutive state championship final, but they want to finish the job this year, unfinished business. They won the 2019 state championship against Miami. They lost in 2020 to the Blanche Eli Tigers, and then last year, 2021 in January, they lost.
Double dribble violation. Mustangs ball.
They lost to the St. Thomas Aquinas. Both of those losses, they gave up leads late. So certainly unfinished business for Wekiva. As the first points draining the rain.
Leads to Shania McCarthy for 3.
So both of those championship game losses were giving up leads late in the game, under a minute. And a timeout called by City of Life coach Dewey Buggs. 3-0, a minute 15 in.
30-second timeout requested by City of Life. We'll be back.
And welcome back to Mustang Arena. 1 minute, 16 seconds into the 2021-22 season. Wekiva on top 3-0 as Jada Eads dropped the tray just before we went to the break. Your starting lineups, if you were unable to join us during the introductions: Perez, the shooting guard, number 1. Rivera, the shooting guard, number 2. Rodriguez, the other shooting guard or point guard. Rodriguez, 5. Point forward, Theus, number 21. St. Hilaire, the shooting forward, number 31. As the City of Life starting lineup, Wekiva in the white jerseys. Now with possession, forcing the turnover counters with Jade Eads, number 10, the only 3 points on the board, scored by Eads. Number 15, Rylan Moffitt. Shania McCarthy, number 22, as Holiday picks up.
Holiday from Jade Lewis.
Holiday picking up where she left off from last year, the spin and the Windex work. She's number 32, and Jade Lewis, a newcomer to Wekiva, number 0, City of Life, from the corner, doesn't get the bounce. Eads cleans the board. We'll come back the other way. 5-0 Wekiva. Eads with a loping shot in the lane, out of bounds. And Wekiva will keep possession. Jade Lewis, the guard, she is a transfer from Bishop Moore, a 2-year starter for the Hornets. She has joined the team this year. 3 returning starters for Wekiva, 7 returners in general, as the ball, nothing but air, goes out of bounds. It'll remain with Wekiva. I'm Neil Fisher. Mark Barchi is my partner. We're handling the play-by-play call. The video aspects handled by the broadcast production department. Moffitt with the soft touch off the heel, and Rodriguez doing some Windex work. Quick outlet along the right sideline now. City of Life slowing the pace down. Over to Theus. She kicks it back out to Perez. And McCarthy, the senior leader, showing why she's expected to be a leader. Up the court quickly. Wekiva, that's their style. Get the ball up quickly. 3 passes and a foul. First foul of the game.
Foul is called against number 5, Gio Rodriguez. Her first, the team's first.
McCarthy with the tray attempt. Oh, short. And Perez snags the ball underneath the rim. So slower pace by City of Life, bringing the ball up. Rodriguez calls out the play at the top of the key, guarded by Eads. Underneath, and the Windex score. The withdrawal.
Natalia Perez puts the Warriors on the board.
5-2, Wekiva with the lead. This preseason action, the preseason classic. That's Holiday who draws the foul.
Foul called against Warriors number 21, Samantha Theus. That's her first personal foul, the team's second. At the line, shooting 2 for the Mustangs, number 32, Kanari Holiday.
So Holiday at the line with Wekiva holding a 5-2 lead. They scored the first 5 points. Holiday, the 5', 11-inch senior. She is a 3-year starter. And Coach Butts describes her as an enforcer, which should not be a surprise considering she plays inside.
Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 12, Omaria Gordon.
But probably most important for this team as we get into the season, Coach Butts just lauded her about how much she's improved in those 3 years since coming to Wekiva. Unfortunately, she is not able to get either of the baskets. Score remains at 5-2. Quick outlet for COL. Windex work. Rotation. Baseline drive by St. Hilaire.
Shot blocked there by Kanari Holiday. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Warriors.
So once again, Wekiva looking to take care of unfinished business for 2 seasons now, losing in the state championship final. They won the 2019 state championship. City of Life, the 2018 state champs in 2A, and rejection by Holiday. Quick footwork, great movement on that lower body, and Butts pointed that out as well when he was talking about the improvement that Holiday's made during her 3 years in the Mustang uniform at the varsity level. So Eads will bring the ball up, the 5', 6-inch sophomore. She was on the team last year, a starter as a freshman. Into the lane for Holiday, a little up and down move. And the ball will go to City of Life, the Warriors.
Out of bounds, Warriors ball. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 21, Princess Harden.
So this is the 10th season that Coach Butts has been at the helm of Wekiva. Interception, stepping in front of that pass, the quick outlet to Eads, and she can't get it to drop. McCarthy doing some Windex work and drawing the foul in the process.
Shania McCarthy is fouled on the putback attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. Foul is called against number 5, Gio Rodriguez, her second and the team's third.
So McCarthy opening up the scoring for this 2021-22 season, dropping a tray from the right corner. Of course, we mentioned it before. She is a senior. She's been on the varsity team for all 4 years. And she comes in along with Kanari Holiday as the 2 most senior players on the Wekiva team, and also at the top of the list of the expectations being leadership. 1 of 2 at the free throw, but the rebound by Moffitt out to Eads. Stop, pop, and drop. 8-2.
Rylan Moffitt to Jana Eads for 2.
The 6-foot jumper from Eads. And now Wekiva rotating their defense. They go to full court, man-to-man. Rodriguez unable to keep the ball. City of Life will maintain possession, though. St. Hilaire will inbound the ball. And look for Wekiva to go to a number of different defenses tonight. That is one of their trademarks under Butts. Again, Butts, this is his 10th season. And McCarthy takes the interception, hands off to Eads. Got some transition action. Moffitt, soft touch, does not go. Kicks off the heel. Windex work for City of Life, and they're going to take a page out of Wekiva's book, trying to come back. Double team. And St. Hilaire breaks through that from the corner. And now number 21, Princess Harden, a sophomore. She came in during the break. Credit her with the rebound. Amari Gordon also came in during the break.
Returning to the game for the Mustangs, number 32, Kanari Holiday.
So you just heard Mark, my partner, who also does his public address announcing here at Mustang Arena, announce that Kanari Holiday is now back in. 2:48 remaining in the first quarter. The tray attempt rims in and out. Rivera taking it. Gordon, rebound over to Eads. Eads rotates it, goes down low, back out. McCarthy. And a whistle, turnover.
3 seconds in the key. Warriors ball. Checking into the game for Colca, number 15, Abigail Squires.
So Shania McCarthy opened up the scoring about a minute in, dropping a tray from the right corner. Made the score 3-0. Wekiva is up that lead to 8-2. City of Life is the opponent with the blue jerseys. From the top of the key, that's Rivera. Unable to get it. Quick rebound by Eads, and she's going to go down to the offensive zone. Kicks out to Gordon. Scramble in that left corner, and the refs declare that the ball was out of bounds, and it will be Wekiva possession. So Shania McCarthy, the leading scorer with 4 points. Holiday with the deuce. Eads with the deuce as well. And speaking of McCarthy, she inbounds to Gordon. Short on the tray, but Holiday. Nice Windex work, but unable to get the withdrawal. And City of Life basketball. This is the Wekiva Preseason Classic for women's basketball.
Returning to the game for the Mustangs, number 0, Jade Lewis.
4 games will be played this week. 2 tonight, 2 on Thursday. This is the second of 2 tonight. An 8-2 lead for Wekiva. They scored the first 5 points. And City of Life coach Bugs barks out the orders. The tray, came out like a jack in the box. McCarthy, the baseline drive by Lewis. Short. Snagging that ball out of the air is Rivera. She runs into double team trouble. And City of Life will keep possession of the ball. 1:38 remaining now.
Checking into the game, number 5, Gio Rodriguez.
Wekiva still with the 8-2 lead, Neil Fisher.
Also checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 33, Gianna Beecham.
And that other voice, that's Mark Barchi delivering public address announcing. So Gianna Beecham, the senior, 5'10", checks in. And from the left corner, that's Squires, unable to get it. Quick rebound, moving up the court. Kickoff to Holiday. Gordon doing some nice, impressive Windex work here in the early going. 3 rebounds for the sophomore.
Number 21, Samantha Theus, her second personal foul, the team's 4th.
Wekiva with 7 returning starters. That includes as Holiday gets the withdrawal. 10-2 Wekiva.
Canary Holiday on the inbound from Shania McCarthy.
Wekiva stays in man-to-man, full court. So Wekiva, 7 returners from last year. That includes 2 which were freshmen last year, Amari Gordon and Princess Harden.
Mustang foul is called against number 33, Gianna Beecham. That's her first personal foul, and the team's first.
And both of those players, Harden and Gordon, are out on the court right now. And Gordon, speaking of which, she picks up that loose ball. No go, but McCarthy, the senior, with the Windex work.
Shania McCarthy
So
makes the putback.
City of Life trying to get the ball back, and they do make it count. Drains the rain, 12-5.
3-point basket by Kayana Rivera.
On the other end, basket does not go, and that tray dropped by Theus. City of Life needed those points. This game that lead was starting to get.
Rylan Moffitt returns to the game for the Mustangs. Also checking in for Wekiva, number 10, Jada Eads.
So that lead was starting to blossom. It was starting to get to that point where it might be too big to cut into.
And into the game for City of Life, number 1, Natalia Perez.
Instead, the score is 12-5. 31.4 seconds remaining in this preseason classic. Inbound pass. Wekiva unable to get it. The long outlet to Rivera. Eads coming back, forcing her to have to take that shot. And Wekiva with 20 seconds left to try to up that 12-5 lead in this first quarter. Lewis, the transfer from Bishop Moore, 2-year starter there. Hands off to Moffitt. McCarthy, quick pass to Holiday, and too tall. And so Wekiva unable to convert an opportunity, which would have given them some great momentum heading into the second half. And now they might get that ball back along the sideline. We got a whistle, and yes, City of Life did call the timeout. So 4.5 seconds remaining, 12-5, Wekiva lead in the first quarter.
30-second timeout requested by the Warriors. We'll be back with the last 4.5 seconds in just a moment.
Arena, home of the Wekiva Mustangs, who, as we begin the second quarter, enjoy a 12-5 lead over the City of Life. This is the second game of the 2021 preseason classic.
The Warriors have the opening possession of the second quarter.
For women's basketball. And we're getting a foul right off the bat. Jade Lewis committing that foul for Wekiva.
Mustang foul called against number 0, Jade Lewis. That's her first personal foul, the team's second.
Shania McCarthy, about a minute into the game, dropped the tray from the right corner to give Wekiva the lead at 3-0. The senior, and Wekiva is up that lead to 12-5 as we begin the second quarter. A pair of state championship teams, City of Life winning the 2A state championship in 2018. Windex work being done by Rodriguez, unable to get the follow-up. And Wekiva will go back to work. Lewis from the right arc, air ball, out of bounds, and that will be City of Life ball. Wekiva won the state championship in 2014, 2019, and they are looking to go to a fourth consecutive state championship final this season. I'm Neil Fisher. Mark Barchi is my partner. Along with the video production, the broadcast production department, we're going to get a tie ball. That's Canary Holiday.
Held ball, possession Mustangs. Checking into the game for Wekiva, number 12, Omaria Gordon.
So Wekiva, as we are now 47 seconds into this second quarter, have missed a few, 2 or 3 opportunities, transition opportunities. Worked really hard to create them, but then weren't able to convert. However, they have converted far more than they've missed. And I think if you're Coach Tommy Butts, you have to be happy with what the team did overall in the first 8 minutes of the season. Again, a couple of mistakes. Didn't get all those conversions on transition opportunities. But given that it's the first opportunity they played a live opponent, to come out with a 12-5 lead, you have to be happy. So St. Hilaire with the drive and the withdrawal, 12-7.
Talia St. Hilaire off the backboard for 2.
So Wekiva brings it down. They'll try to answer the St. Hilaire basket. And they do!
3 for Jada Eads.
Eads draining the rain. And that ups the lead to 15-7, 6 minutes in the second quarter. And McCarthy stands tall and just swatted that ball out of the hands of the City of Life player. It'll be Wekiva possession too. So with 5:57 before halftime, Coach Butts, he also talked about how close this Wekiva team is. Said they're a very tight-knit team. They eat lunch together. As an example, that's Moffitt. Stop, pop, and drop for the senior.
Rylan Moffitt with the assist from McCarthy.
17-7, 2 of the seniors teaming up. And Rivera with the shot, but unable to get it to drop, and the rebound, the foul. Third. Inbound to Rivera. She can't get the tray to drop. Kicks off the heel. Gordon ripping the board down. And Wekiva will set up on the other end. McCarthy at the top. That's Eads. She's going to drive the lane. And finger rolls the ball. Ear frog.
Jada Eads for 2.
So Wekiva continuing to roll. They've scored 7 in a row, upping that lead to 19-7. The tray attempts continue for Central City of Life, and they continue to miss. Eads, the sophomore, stop, pop, and drop.
Jada Eads with a Mustang jump shot.
From 15 feet, Wekiva on a 9-0 run. 4:40 remaining in the second quarter. City of Life needing to get some baskets. They're down by 14. Can't afford to let that lead get very much bigger at this point. Rivera, the dipsy-do shoulder move, and no good. Slides off the rim. McCarthy doing Windex work. And McCarthy will take the shot at the other end. Too long. Rejected by Moffitt. And Wekiva will set up in the middle to Hardin. Slips off that heel. Moffitt doing some more Windex work. And it will be Central of Life, City of Life possession. So Wekiva doesn't score. The lead remains 21-7 as Canary Holiday will come in for Rylan Moffitt. However, I think if you're Coach Butts and the rest of the coaching staff, you have to be happy with that possession. And really, about 90% of the possessions, Wekiva got 3 rebounds, and you're going to score more times than not when you get 3 rebounds on a single possession. The drive by Rodriguez, and she makes the withdrawal
Gio
off the bench.
Rodriguez picks up 2 for the Warriors.
Cuts the lead to 12, 21-9. Much needed points for the Warriors. City of Life. And a whistle as that ball goes into the middle to Beecham. One of the newcomers to this team this
Foul
season.
is called against number 21, Samantha Theus. That's her 3rd personal foul and the team's 5th.
So Beecham, number 33, who was involved in that play, she's a senior, which means FHSAA requires all seniors to play on the varsity team as Eads draining the rain, 9 for the sophomore. So back to Beecham. She was a senior, which means she has to be, by rule, on the varsity team. And speaking of Beecham, takes the pass from Eads and makes the withdrawal. 23-9.
Beecham picks up 2. And we'll pause for a timeout. Full timeout requested by City of Life. We'll be back in just a moment.
Mustang Arena, the site of the second preseason classic game. Wekiva breaking out to a 25-9 lead with 3:06 remaining. And Coach City of Life called, Coach Bugs called a timeout after Gianna Beecham took a bounce pass from Jada Eads and as I like to say, made the withdrawal. That brought our score to 25-9. Beecham is a newcomer to this team, and there's a great story behind that, and that is basically she is a senior, which means she does not have to try out. She's automatically a part of the varsity team. That's FHSAA rules. However, she came to the tryouts and actually earned a spot according to Coach Butts. So certainly a player who earned her way onto this team. Gianna Beecham, and she gets her first points of the season.
Foul is called against Mustangs. Number 10, Jada Eads, her first, the team's 4th. At the line, shooting 2, Talia St. Hilaire.
So St. Hilaire goes to the line with 2 points. Wekiva on a 13-2 run. Shania McCarthy, the senior, dropped the tray about a minute into the game from the right corner, and they have led ever since then. Wekiva looking to go to a 4th consecutive state championship final as Eads goes for the tray. That's Holiday underneath, and she came down strong with the rebound. But
Held ball, possession, Warriors.
Okay, well, you heard Mark Barchi, who is my partner and also our public address announcer. Held ball. City of Life, opportunity to cut a little bit more into that lead, and they do from the left corner.
3-point basket for Karina Rivera.
So 5 consecutive points scored by City of Life, 2.5 remaining before halftime, 25-13. Beecham steps up, can't get just enough arc.
Push is called against Warriors number 31, Talia St. Hilaire. That's her first personal foul, the team's 6th.
This is a non-shooting foul, 2:24 remaining in the first half. Wekiva with possession of 25-13. Quick pass to Eads, 3 steps off the heel. Scramble and Squires, bulldog work, getting that loose ball. And as a bonus, she'll draw the foul.
Mustang foul is called against number 21, Princess Harden. That's her second personal foul, and it's the team's 5th.
So Colonial, the perennial state playoff qualifier, defeated Haggerty in the first game tonight, the preseason classic, 67-17. This is Wekiva and City of Life duking it out in the nightcap. Wekiva with a 25-13 lead 2 minutes before halftime. City of Life with possession. Squires gets the ball out to the top. Hilaire, St. Hilaire can't get it, and Windex work a horde of Mustangs pulling that ball down. A little too quick there. And Dewey Bugs, the City of Life coach, showing some soft hands.
Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 22, Shania McCarthy.
So as you just heard, Shania McCarthy checks in, the senior who began the scoring with the tray. Rivera, that was partially blocked. I think Gordon got a hand on it. And so Wekiva will go back to work. Jada Eads, she was looking over at Coach Butts, who's barking out instructions. Holiday at the top, rotation. Lewis, the newcomer, no dice, and Holiday unable to corral that ball as it came down, went right off her knees. Don't see Holiday losing control of a ball very often. So talked to Coach Butts last night and had nothing but praise for Holiday and just how much she's improved. Talked about her footwork, but also how soft her hands have become. In the meantime, City of Life with possession, and they will go to the line, St. Hilaire.
Push is called against Mustangs. Number 12, that's Omaria Gordon's second personal foul and the team's sixth. So that means we're going to be shooting both ways now, if any more fouls.
Yeah, 6 fouls for both teams as there is now 1 minute 5 seconds remaining before halftime.
Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 3, Tierra Coleman.
So Tierra Coleman, a sophomore, she was the third freshman who played last year on this team. And speaking of freshmen, a bit of an oddity, none this year, as Holiday bumping and bruising, doing the Windex.
Canary Holiday on the pass.
Making the withdrawal. And Coleman, who just came in, pays off dividends, playing defensive back with the interception. 4 passes, McCarthy underneath. McCarthy with the rebound. And Wekiva, a third rebound, and this one goes in.
Jada Eads with a third chance basket.
So Wekiva pulling out the Windex, and a turnover, and the easy withdrawal for Lewis.
Jade Lewis steals 2.
So Lewis playing defensive back, jumped the route, makes the withdrawal, 6 seconds remaining from the corner. Rivera drains the rain, and that will bring the first half to an end. But despite the tray, Wekiva still doubles up. City of Life 32-16. About to begin with the Wekiva Mustangs holding a 31-16 lead over the City of Life Warriors. Thank you for joining us on a Thursday night. This is the very first preseason class game. The second during the preseason classic. And if you're Coach Butts, the Wekiva coach is Jada Eads, rolls in a deuce.
Jada Eads opens up second half scoring for the Mustangs.
Off the turnover. If you're Coach Butts or any of the other coaches, you have to be happy with the first half performance put in by the Wekiva Mustangs. A very authoritative performance, and certainly during the first two possessions, they have picked up where they left off, looking to up that lead now to 19. Moffitt unable to drop the tray. Quick look at the stats, really two that stick out. Wekiva not shooting particularly impressively, nothing that to write home about, only 32% overall, but they have taken 43 shots as City of Life is trying to get some points. Ball rebounded. And Eads with it in the corner. She'll stop and unable to get the tray, but Holiday, Windex work and draws the foul.
Canary Holiday is fouled on the putback attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot two for the Mustangs. The foul is called against Warriors number 5, Gio Rodriguez. That's her third personal foul, the team's first of this half.
So the stat which sticks out the most is rebounds and turnovers. And again, Wekiva took 43 field goal attempts in that first half, 14 offensive rebounds, while forcing 11 turnovers by City of Life. And certainly, Mark, you don't have to be a basketball guru. You don't have to be playing basketball long. If you're forcing turnovers and getting rebounds, you're going to take a lot of field goal attempts.
Natalia Perez on the pass from St. Hilaire.
So score is now 33-18. Wekiva turned the ball over only 3 times against City of Life with 11. And the big stat, first and foremost, 30 rebounds, 14 offensive, 16 defensive for Wekiva. And they turned those into 43 field goal attempts.
Traveling, Mustangs ball. Checking into the game for Wekiva. Number 21, Princess Harden, and number 33, Gianna Beecham.
So Wekiva scored first. A minute into the game, Shania McCarthy, the senior, looked up to for great leadership as Eads puts on the Jets, stop, pops, and drops.
Jada Eads picks up 2 for the Mustangs.
McCarthy dropping a tray from the right corner a minute in, and Wekiva was up 3-0, and they have never trailed. They put together a 13-2 run midway through the second quarter, and that is Beecham with the withdrawal.
Harden to Beecham for 2.
So a couple of Beecham a newcomer. And speaking of McCarthy, she swipes, steals, and goes to the bank, making the withdrawal.
Shania McCarthy steals 2 for the Mustangs.
And that'll up the lead to 37-18. Wekiva began once again a 3-0 lead. Shania McCarthy dropping the tray.
Delay of game warning is called on Gianna Beecham.
From the right corner, the stretch in which they really took control, took authority of this game, was midway through the second quarter, a 13-2, and now they've rumbled off a 7-0 run here at the start of the second half. 39-18. That's St. Hilaire with the dribble, setting the play, guarded by Beecham. Out to Rivera, short, kicks off the front of the rim. Loose ball, scramble. Got some WWE action in terms of a wrestling match for about 2 seconds broke out.
Held ball, possession Warriors.
City of Life passes the ball in and a whistle immediately.
Mustang foul is called against number 21, Princess Harden. That's her third personal foul, the team's first this half.
So Harden, as you just heard my partner, Mark Barchi, say, second foul. She moved here to Central Florida a couple years ago from Kentucky. And once again was one of 3 freshmen on last year's team. The other 2 was Gordon and Jada Eads. Beecham, the Bishop Moore transfer, haggling the inbound pass. City of Life does gets it in. Rivera will take the tray, but wouldn't have counted if it went in as she traveled.
Mustangs ball.
And I think that's really a case of where Wekiva's defensive work has gone in the mind of City of Life.
Yeah, and just while we are paused briefly with nobody scoring baskets, I do want to point out that because this is a preseason classic, I'm using this opportunity to train our new statisticians, which is why you don't hear my voice that often. But thanks to Neil for picking up the slack as we get a foul called against number 5, Gio Rodriguez. That's her 4th personal foul, the team's 2nd.
So Beecham at the line. She has 4 points. Score remains 39-18. Wekiva, a very authoritative and commanding performance in that first half. They've continued it into the second half. 3 minutes in, and they have scored on a 10-2 run now. And chance to go 12-2. The long outlet to Gordon. Unable to get it. And City of Life will try to cut into that lead, trailing by 22 midway through the third quarter. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi. Oh, defensive back action. Beecham stepping in front of the pass. Unfortunately, she was not able to corral the pass. And another turnover, and yet another. 4 turnovers on 4 possessions. So if you're Wekiva, if you're Coach Butts, I'm sure you don't like to see those turnovers, especially not converting opportunities into points. However, with a 22-point lead, you can certainly afford a few miscues on those conversions. And
Beecham
finally,
with a fast break basket on the pass from Jade Lewis.
So finally, Jade Lewis breaks that streak of 5 consecutive possessions of no baskets, going off the bank. And Rivera being hounded. She picks up that ball, drops it off to St. Hilaire. Back to Rivera. And some more good defensive work. This time Gordon getting a hand in.
Checking into the game for City of Life, number 23, Jasmine Puckett. And for the Mustangs, number 22, Shania McCarthy.
So McCarthy, along with Kenari Holiday, the 2 most battle-tested players on Wekiva. This is Coleman trying the scoop shot, but McCarthy, just speaking of her, because she just came in.
McCarthy gets the second chance basket for the Mustangs.
The withdrawal, Wekiva up 44-18. McCarthy, a 4-year starter, and certainly she looks like that tonight, as she's now up to 10 points. Gordon making her presence felt, doing some Windex work. The quick pass over to McCarthy, and finger throws the ball in.
Oh, Maria Gordon 2, Shania McCarthy 4-2.
And Wekiva continues to up that lead, 46-18. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. City of Life is the opponent. And Gordon again getting a hand in there, disrupting the City of Life offense, but overcome
Samantha
by
Theus picks up the layup for the Warriors.
So that cuts the lead to 46-20. Wekiva has led the whole game, almost the whole game, taking the lead a minute in. The turn from Beecham.
Beecham picks up 2 on the pass from Lewis.
Long range, dial it up and drain the rain for Rivera.
Karina Rivera for 3.
So 48-23. Coleman got the ball stripped, maintained control though. And in the end, City of Life will take over possession of the ball. So taking a look at Wekiva's schedule, they will play the second game of the preseason classic on Thursday. It's against Haggerty. Haggerty's going to have to improve quite a bit. They lost 67-17 to Colonial in the opener. And then, of course, next week on the 18th, 19th, and 22nd, the first ever Metro West tournament, Wekiva will be playing in that. They will also be hosting along with West Orange and Olympia. This is Coleman, and slides off the front, but McCarthy pulling out the Windex. Not once, not twice. Not once, but twice.
Shania McCarthy gets her own putback for 2.
And that ups the lead to 50-23. So certainly Wekiva continuing to roll. Mark, if you're Coach Butts, or really any of the coaches, you have to like Wekiva's performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, the score kind of belies what's actually happening here. City of Life is not a pushover team. As you mentioned, Neil, they're a defending state champion. And while they did get hit a little bit by graduation, a lot of these girls are the same girls who were on that state championship team. So City of Life is no pushover. Wekiva is just that good.
Yeah. Now, City of Life is missing 3 of their players tonight, but still, you know, you just get the feeling as Coleman does the Windex and makes the withdrawal to up the lead to 52-23.
Mustang put back by Tiara Coleman.
You get the feeling that Wekiva, regardless of whether City of Life was with or without those 3 players, would still be leading. Probably not nearly as big, but they'd still probably the performance would still be very authoritative. And that's the word that I've been using throughout this contest to describe this performance.
Mustang hold is called against number 21, Princess Harden. That's her 4th personal foul. The team's 2nd of this half. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 33, Gianna Beecham.
So in getting back to the Metro West tournament, Mark, that is the first one that's ever going to be held for the girls. Wekiva, of course, will be hosting a portion of it. They are the number 1 seed, and that is based on last year's records. Wekiva, of course, went 22-4, and all the way to the state championship final. They are looking to go to a 4th consecutive state championship final as the last 10 seconds tick off.
Number 24, Caitlin Harkema for 2. So she just appeared off the bench and then immediately did something. And that takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 52-25 is the score with 8 minutes left in the ball game. We'll be back from Mustang Arena with the last quarter of Game 2 right after this break. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. The Mustangs have the opening possession of the 4th quarter.
So 52-25 as we enter the last 8 minutes. An authoritative and commanding performance by the Wekiva Mustangs, their first game of the season. This is a preseason game. City of Life is the opponent. A look at the statistics. Wekiva has built this lead on rebounds, that when you're getting those many rebounds and forcing those many turnovers, as the withdrawal from Beecham ups the lead to 54-25.
Beecham from Coleman.
when you're getting 43 rebounds, 20 offensive, and forcing your opponent into 20 turnovers, you're going to get a lot of field goal attempts.
Air ball coming up there for the Warriors, and here comes McCarthy in transition, and it goes! Shania McCarthy in transition for the Mustangs.
And McCarthy, probably on this team the most battle-tested of all the players, a 4-year player on the senior team. She's been a member of all three of the championship the teams have gone to the championship state final.
And that was her 16th point right there. And here's a nice little steal for Harden.
Yeah, last year, one of 3 freshmen on last year's team. And speaking of
McCarthy on the pass from Jade Lewis.
So the battle tested the veteran Shania McCarthy finishing off that deuce. And it's the newcomer, Jade Lewis, the transfer from Bishop Moore, creating the opportunity for McCarthy with the pass. And 58-25, Wekiva's led from about a minute in. Loose ball picked up by Lewis, and she joins in the act, dropping the deuce.
Jade Lewis steals 2 for the Mustangs.
And so Wekiva continues to roll on opening night, 60-25 as we approach 5 minutes left in the game.
That also, 35, 45, 55, 60. Make sure I do my math right. That is a 35-point advantage for the Mustangs. That means we will be using a running clock. The clock will only stop for timeouts, injuries, or other extended disruptions of play for the remainder of the game. There's a nice steal for McCarthy off of Theus. And it's going to be Jade Lewis with the Mustang bucket.
So Lewis now with 6 points.
Timeout, City of Life. So that is one of the 2 ways that you can actually stop the clock.
Actually, it's the only way.
Well, other than like an injury or extended disruption. And yeah, in the fourth quarter, there wouldn't be anything else.
Speaking of Jay Lewis, dropping that last 2, certainly saw the athleticism that Coach Butts talked about and what she brings to this team as a transfer from Bishop Moore on the last couple of possessions. So 62-25 is the score, 4:49 remaining. We will be back with the action from Mustang Arena. Wekiva has led in this preseason classic. From 1 minute in, they are now up 62-25, 4:49 remaining. This is the second of 2 games tonight. 2 more games will be played on Thursday to complete the 2021 Women's Basketball Preseason Classic. Neil Fisher along with Mark Barchi, that's City of Life, in the blue jerseys taking the shot. Windex work by Princess Harden. Quick outlet, and on the other end, Beecham unable to get the deuce to drop. Nonetheless, and talked about this throughout the match as another turnover, the 22nd for City of Life. If you're Coach Butts, the Wekiva head coach, if you just started following Wekiva basketball, he's the head coach, you have to be happy with tonight's performance. Certainly, the field goal percentage needs to improve, only 37% at the end of the third quarter, but all the other stats very commanding.
Jade Lewis to Princess Harden.
And really the story of this game has been turnovers and rebounds. That's been your underlying theme. Wekiva's translated 43 rebounds at the end of the third quarter and 19 turnovers committed by City of Life into 65 field goals. And now, of course, certainly they're over 70.
Cheyenne Beecham on the Mustang layup. Also, Neil, a very clean game. Only 2 fouls on each team this half, which is good news for number 5. That's Gio Rodriguez, who picked up 4 over the early part of the game.
Got a scramble now.
Nice work by Jade Lewis. She was outnumbered 2-1 there and still came up with the ball. Here comes Coleman, finds a wide open Princess Harden, and there it is. Coleman to Harden for the Mustang basket.
Lead up to 41 now. So again, just to close out my thought about the field goals, said it about half a dozen times tonight as Rivera drains the rain.
3-point basket for Karina Rivera.
When you're shooting over 70 field goals, you don't need to particularly shoot the ball well. Wekiva's shooting around 40%. And again, those field goals, that number has come from a huge advantage in rebounds and turnovers.
Gianna Beecham.
So 2.5 minutes remaining, 70-28. Wekiva's led from about a minute in. And Wekiva will take on Haggerty at 8:30 on Thursday night. And the same City of Life team will play Colonial, who beat Haggerty in the first game tonight, 67-17. So that game will tip off at 6 p.m. Those 2 games are the back half of the 2021 Women's Basketball Preseason Classic. And then Wekiva will move on to the Metro West Tournament.
For Jade Lewis from Tierra Coleman.
Wekiva will then move on to the Metro West Tournament. They're playing on the 18th, 19th, and 22nd next week. The first ever tournament. That should be very exciting. They will be playing right here at Wekiva.
Gio Rodriguez for 3 on the pass from Rivera.
Some more rain being drained. 73-28. That Metro West Tournament, Wekiva will be the number 1 seed. That's based on last year's record. And they will host half of the games. The other half will be held at Olympia or West Orange. So certainly tune in for that. Mark and I will be here. We're broadcasting all the regular season games for both the boys and girls basketball teams.
Foul is called against Mustangs. Number 23 is Zariah Hercule. Her first, team's third.
Yeah, Zariah Hercule seeing her first action tonight in the season. A 5'7" sophomore. And as we are now under 1 minute left, after the Metro West Tournament, the Florida Prospects Thanksgiving Classic, that'll be played on the 26th and the 27th, the 2 days after Thanksgiving. And then the month of November is closed out with a home matchup against Windermere. So Wekiva, a dominating and commanding performance. They led from about a minute in. Shania McCarthy, the senior, dropping a tray from the right corner. 3 runs of at least a 10-point difference. And Wekiva will take a 40-plus point victory. And if you're Coach Butts, you certainly have to be happy with tonight's performance, especially considering it's the first time this team has played against a live opponent. 73-31 is your final score.
That takes us to the end of the ball game. We'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight to support your Mustang and Warrior athletes if you're here in the arena with us. And if you are watching online on YouTube or the NFHS network, we thank you for joining us for this first broadcast of our 15th anniversary winter season. We've got 2 more games coming your way on Thursday evening at 6 o'clock. City of Life will take on the Colonial Grenadiers. And then at 7:30, the Mustangs will host the Haggerty Huskies. Again, that's